Welcome back to After Hours. First one since Thailand, because we've had a remarkable double of Aragon and Assen. 2 rounds in the space of 7 days. Here we are then at the Gert-Timmer chicane in Holland. And Steve, where do we start? I mean, we've seen some real drama. This particular part of track, especially here today.
Yeah, I think this is my new favourite corner in the whole calendar. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We'll start with World Supersport, shall we?
Why not?
Jules Cluzel and Keenan Sofwoglu. Wow, what an amazing story that is coming into this chicane. Not once, but twice. You know, we saw a fantastic overtaking manoeuvre from Jules Cluzel, and then the last lap. I mean, we could be here all day and all night discussing that one. The Kawasaki here of Keenan Sofwoglu leads. Here comes Jules Cluzel though in second. He's so quick on that MV Augusta into the Timmer chicane, and he goes around the outside. That was sensational from Jules Cluzel. Unbelievable speed that he goes through the Timmer chicane through. That was incredible, Greg.
Well, you did forecast it, but here comes Sofwoglu back up the inside. Does he know he's there? Yes, he most certainly does. Amazing stuff between the MV and Kawasaki riders. But that move from Cluzel was one of the best we've ever seen in World Supersport. It will come down to the Gert-Timmer chicane for the very last time. Hold your breath. What's he going to do? Which way is he going to go? He's going to the inside.
Sofwoglu hangs his leg out, but it's not enough. He runs wide, and Sofwoglu comes back through. They touch, and Sofwoglu's going to win it, and it's going to be Cluzel. Is it just in second place? It's going to be Smith, is it? Oh, it's close. That was an incredible World Supersport race. What drama here!
Oh, look at this!
Oh, wow,
Look at this.
There you go. We said that they weren't particularly in love with each other, and Keenan Sofwoglu and Jules Cluzel going at it, properly going at it.
Keenan has said he was surprised by your reaction. So, what is your opinion on that?
Surprised about my reaction. I have no answer about this. I think everybody see.
I know he's going to try to me on the chicane, and I took very tight line to close the door for him. There was no door, and he still tried to attack me, but he missed the corner.
He just hit me because I didn't see him. So that's nice for the people who watch the TV for sure. But what is the next step? You know, I need to come back and hit him, and he crash or we crash together. I'm not here to have injury like this, and I just try to pass him. He just tried to pass me, but always when he pass me, I go wide. I lose 1 second. It just is a step more crazy than me.
I think you have to be lucky he didn't crash because, you know, I don't understand why he complained, but probably because of the losing the race, not about what's happened there.
Sometimes I don't know it's happening in his head, and I hope he just keep calm until the end of the season, because the season is still long. We had so much problem. I still far in the championship. I think he's so scared about us.
Absolutely remarkable. You can't script moments like that, can you? Back to World Superbike then, Steve. Jonathan Rea, well, you can't really fault the man, can you? It's a 50-point championship lead now and 6 wins from 8 races.
Yeah, he's only dropped 10 points from the entire championship so far at the start. Despite the fact that I suppose you could look at the result and say, okay, it has been domination from Rea. We shouldn't forget that it's been 2 high-class races that we've witnessed here in Assen. But I think the massive problem was that the rest of the field that were chasing Jonathan were constantly tripping each other up in order to have a bite at him, and consequently, certainly in race 1 anyway, and nobody even showed their front wheel to Jonathan.
At least Chaz Davies finished second in both, I suppose, so they're getting a little bit closer to bunch up the pack a bit, which is what we love to see. Control stuff from Chaz Davies, obviously, since we were last on air with After Hours. He's had a win as well in Aragon, so it is looking very, very good for Ducati, certainly better than this time last year.
Yeah, major positives to take out of the last 2 weeks, or the last week, should I say, for Chaz Davies. 4 podiums on the trot, and that race win. And the good news for them as well is that they're going home to Imola as a team, and Davide Giuliano will be back as well. So major positives there for Davide when he arrives back as well, that his teammates doing so well. Chaz's championship is back on track.
Well done to Xavi Forés as well. He had a pretty decent weekend, I thought. He was right up there in that top 6 battle in race 1 for a while. Michael van der Mark, of course, that was remarkable last year when he won the World Supersport, and now on the podium not once but twice, but perhaps a little bit contentious at the end of race 2.
Have you ever seen someone push so hard looking for his first World Superbike podium? That Honda was cutting all sorts of shapes on the dance floor out there. Amazing stuff, and some amazing moves as well. A few close shaves. He's had a few naughty moves in there as well, but no, it's brilliant for him and brilliant for the Dutch crowd as well, who came in their thousands today.
Yeah, they did a huge crowd. The main grandstand was absolutely packed out there and lining the chicane. Of course, we must not forget Leon Haslam either, who's still up there in the championship and still the closest challenger. Even when he's not winning, as one of the Kawasaki trucks gets perilously close to the back of our camera, he's just through. Even when Haslam's not winning, though, he's still up there. Having said that, it is the first time this year that he's not finished on the podium in either of the two races.
Well, we knew going into this morning that maybe he didn't have enough to put in the race win, although he was a lot closer than I expected. In fact, they all were. Yeah. We had 4 or 5 bikes fighting for the race wins in both races there. Leon, I don't think, will be too disappointed. We've said a few times that the latter stages of the season lend itself to the Aprilia. We've got some circuits there the Aprilia will really suit. So not so bad for Leon, but the first time that he's off the podium, and of course the incident with Michael van der Mark as well is something worth noting.
Yeah, so Haslam just about off the podium for the first time, and van der Mark up there, 2 in a row. Remarkable stuff. Let's hear then from both of them. First of all, Haslam, then a few front end troubles actually today.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. You know, I thought we was going to struggle versus the Kawasaki's, but honestly, from lap 10 to lap 15, both races we caught the leaders, felt real confident, and then from lap 15 to 21, just had no front grip. Both races completely ripped the tyre, and even though we used the hardest tyre possible in race 2, and obviously it's down to our setup and my riding style, how I was having to ride the bike, but yeah, we need to analyse this because I felt we could have challenged definitely for a good podium, and obviously to have 2 fourths is not ideal.
Leo and I, we had a nice fight. We were strong in different points, and I knew I had to overtake him as soon as possible. And yeah, in the Ramzoek, the overtake I did. I wasn't really sure of it, but I made it, and then into the last chicane he came around the outside, and yeah, we both brake really late, and you know, we had to sit up both. But I'm really happy with 2 podiums. It's better than I could have expected in the beginning of this weekend. So. I'm really happy, thanks to the team, because the bike this weekend was working really, really well, and I'm really looking forward to Imola.
Reason to be happy then from the Pata Honda team, and of course Michael van der Mark. I'm about to get run over by the Volcom Crescent Suzuki lorry there. We'll talk about Suzuki just very quickly. Major disappointments. They're still trying to work out those electronics. I know that you've spoken a lot to Paul Denning. Yeah. Hopefully Imola, maybe a few future rounds, then they'll sort those out.
Shame we missed you, by the way.
Thanks.
Yes, indeed. Let's hope they do get them sorted out. A lot of work there. They've got to try and fit, if they can, somehow at Suzuki. 6 months of work into 6 weeks. So obviously that sounds pretty difficult, but let's hope they can get it done soon. Here we are at Pata Honda. We've seen Michael van der Mark's pretty pleased. Ginters, I was thinking he might be leaving here feeling a little bit dejected, but I understand you've heard from him, and that's not quite the case, which I'm pleased to say.
Well, the situation is, as I hear, that he wasn't too far away. If you remember in race 1, there were times where his lap times meant that he was just closing in behind. Things are looking pretty good, but I mean, obviously it's not where he wants to be in terms of his position, but the start of the weekend was looking so bad for Sylvain Guintoli. The lap time started to come down. There's some light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's the most important thing. It's getting his head around the fact that he's currently the World Superbike champion and that he's not going to be fighting for the championship. That might take some getting used to, but fundamentally the biggest problem is him getting used to this new bike. He spent 2 years on that Aprilia.
History's not kind to champions, is it? Fogarty, we were talking about this earlier in the weekend. Fogarty was the last back-to-back champion, 98-99. Talking of champions then, Tom Sykes, we can't really not mention Tom Sykes. It's happened again, Steve. We were expecting this to be another strong track for him, and he's down there 5th again in both races. It's a tricky one, a bit of a conundrum, really.
I have to say, I'm really surprised at the results today. After pole position yesterday, I would have had some money on Tom, actually, to pick up the race wins here today. He seemed really confident at the end of yesterday, and over 1 lap, and certainly the first half of races, he seemed to be able to fight, but then just drifted away towards the end. I caught up with him, actually, good hour after the second race. I wanted to let things settle, shall we say, and this is what he had to say anyway.
I'm disappointed, but again, it's we're getting closer to the front, and you know, for me it was just frustrating that we had one limitation today which has cost us, and it's, to be honest, now I have a clear understanding it's the same limitation that's affected us all year. So we had a flash of speed in the second race. You know, we were leading for about 12 laps, and even then, you know, I was fighting the bike. But you know, I'm confident that when we get the setup, we can be really strong from start to finish, and that's my aim at this moment. Yeah.
Is there any indication you can give us as to what the limitation may be linked to?
Yeah. I think it's plain to see rear traction. You know, we're suffering a little bit on, well, in general from the rear traction side, and of course we need to change a little bit of the balance of the bike. But you know, slowly but surely, I'm confident we can get there. And like I said, all we can do is keep working on this. And in fact, you've just caught me after a big technical meeting, and you know, we've got some good ideas. So there's still light at the end of the tunnel. You know, obviously Jonathan's done a great job. He's only missed 10 points from the whole scoring so far. So if we need to do something, we need to react fast. But at the end of the day, we can only do what we can do. But there's nobody as frustrated as me. You know, watching the guys pull away from me from the rear traction point of view, there's no replacement for traction, and you know, I'm not making excuses. I was riding the best I could, and the guys in front obviously did a better job. So I'm looking forward to hopefully matching, and you know, I want to join the party. You know, watching the race from 4th and 5th, those guys are having a hell of a time, and you know, I want to get involved. So and it'd be nice for the telly as well.
Oh, well, you can't win them all, I suppose, for Tom Sykes, but we did expect a stronger start to the season. I'm sure he will be back, though. Right then, what's up next? 2 weeks off, and then Imola into Italy. So it really is all getting quite constant from then, isn't it? One every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we'll get closer and closer to the halfway point of the season, and then we really will have to take a closer look at the championship. I'm quite looking forward to the 2 weeks off, back-to-back rounds. I think everyone's quite tired. It'll give us a real chance to properly sum up where the next challenge is coming from, because let's be honest, Greg, we need to see someone fighting Jonathan Rea. Can anyone stop him this season?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I spoke to Chaz Davis after the live interviews today that we're doing in Parc Fermé. We went upstairs to do the post-live interviews, as they're known, and I actually put that very question to Chaz Davis, so here's the answer.
That's a very good question. Like I said, you know, maybe need to rethink my strategy a little bit. In the second race, I felt like we could have had a stab at it, but he was, you know, he's very, very precise, Johnny, and fast at the same time. You know, it's very difficult to get around a man like that, and he's strong in the last laps. I think he knows the capabilities of where he's at and his bike, and if he needs to up the game, he will. And it's a matter of trying to figure out, you know, the best way to go about it. And anyway, got some ideas, but I won't give them all away on camera.
Wonder what those are then. We'll maybe find out at Imola in 3 weeks' time. There is the number 7 bike just being taken away. They'll ship all that away to Avi Forest bike as well there. And lovely view out here. What a lovely day as well, by the way. You hear about everyone saying Assen and the rain and all that, but it's absolutely fantastic this evening. Yeah, the weather actually warmed up just at the end of the day's racing, actually. It's beautiful at the moment. I think it might be time for a sunbathe, but, well, you can see from the paddock here that everyone at the moment getting ready to pack away. Couple of weeks break, and then we will be in Imola. But it has been some day of racing action here from Assen. I've had a great day. I don't know about you, Greg. I have. I mean, we had a great view out of the commentary box window. We were looking at the clouds. There were a few of them actually in the sky this morning. As we say, they're clear blue skies. Now, this really has been, across all 4 categories, full of drama here, as we saw earlier with World Supersport, the stock classes as well. It just proves how unpredictable this whole business is, really, doesn't it? It does, and even though there is a rider at the top of the standings that you can't see losing at the moment, anything can happen in bike racing. That is why we love it. And if we can have more dices and battles at the front like that in Imola and then Donington, then I'm all for it. It will continue then on the run down to Tamburello in 3 weeks' time. We'll be at Imola. Hope you're able to join us there as well. From Holland, though, we say goodbye on a very, very lovely evening. See you in Italy. Goodbye.